Welcome to the Depth Dive. Today, we've got a really interesting set of sources looking at weight management. Specifically, we're analyzing some pretty bold claims from places that offer medically supervised weight loss.
Right. These sources argue their approach isn't just another diet, but a better long-term investment compared to, all the quick fixes you see online.
Exactly. And that's our mission for this deep dive, isn't it? To get past the ads and really unpack why places like Metabolic Medical Centers, MMC, say their standard of care is worth the money, the effort, and maybe even driving across town for.
Yeah, we're zeroing in on the specific health risks they bring up. Why do they argue unsupervised do-it-yourself methods can be, risky? It seems less about looks and more about your actual body function.
Okay, so the sources really come out swinging against unverified online advice and social media fads, but it's interesting, they're not just warning you might fail to lose weight, they're warning about actual physical harm.
They are. What specific danger do they keep highlighting?
It seems to be about causing physiological damage, doing harm to your body.
Yeah, and that's the core of it. They focus hard on your body's structure.
Right.
When people chase really fast weight loss without medical advice, often cutting calories way, way down, the body sometimes starts eating itself, basically.
Eating itself.
Well, yeah. The big risk they flag is losing muscle and even bone mass unnecessarily. Step on a scale, see a lower number, and think, great. But a doctor might see you're losing stuff you absolutely need, which is a huge health problem down the road.
Right. That difference, losing essential structure versus just fat that feels critical. So, okay, I'm following some plan I found online, cutting calories, the scale's dropping fast. How does having a doctor involved actually stop my body from, degrading itself like that?
That's where the medical supervision comes in, according to these sources. A qualified doctor understands how your body reacts metabolically when you change your diet significantly. If you just slash calories without guidance, your body can go into this kind of panic mode, a catabolic state. And if it's not getting the right nutrients, it often finds it easier to break down muscle for energy than to tack into stubborn fat.
Wow. Okay, so you're losing strength.
Exactly. Strength, resilience, and you're actually hurting your metabolism in the long run, which ironically makes keeping weight off much, much harder later.
And that connects right back to that idea they mentioned about squandering resources, doesn't it? It's not just about money on a failed diet.
Precisely.
The source implies you're wasting your time, your effort, if you're not meeting certain care standards. If you end up with a weaker body and a slower metabolism, that's not just ineffective.
It's actively harmful. It costs you your health capital, as you put it. Think of your health like a bank account.
Okay.
If you lose weight but wreck your metabolism by shedding muscle, you've just made a bad withdrawal. You've shrunk your metabolic engine, meaning you need fewer calories just to get by, which makes rebound weight gain almost inevitable.
So the supervised approach is framed as maximizing the return on that health investment.
That's the argument. Ensuring every pound lost is actually fat, not function. Making sure the investment pays off long term.
That makes a lot more sense. Okay, so let's dive into what MMC specifically claims makes their approach this premium investment. If online trends are potentially risky or inefficient, what does their standard of care actually look like? What are they monitoring?
They outline some very specific things they see as essential. First, obviously partnering with the qualified doctor, someone who gets your medical history, your body chemistry, not just someone counting macros.
Right.
But the real difference, they argue, is in the monitoring. They stress the need for regular objective data points, specific lab tests, and ongoing blood pressure monitoring.
Okay, lab tests is a bit vague, though. Listeners will want to know why those tests are so vital. What are they actually looking for in the blood work that, say, my bathroom scale or a tape measure completely misses?
Good question. And the source material gives us some insight there. These labs aren't just your standard checkup stuff. In this context, they're tracking biomarkers that can signal metabolic stress or nutritional deficiencies early on.
Like what specifically?
Things like kidney function, liver enzymes are important, but also crucially, monitoring electrolyte balance and nitrogen levels. If your electrolytes get out of whack from a really restrictive diet, that can be genuinely dangerous.
Okay, I see.
And high nitrogen levels in your waist, for example, can be an early warning sign that your body is breaking down muscle protein. It's data that lets a doctor adjust your plan before real structural damage happens.
So it's way beyond just seeing the scale move. It's like looking under the hood in real time, using science.
Exactly. Science-based adjustments. And they pair this medical side with coaching, too.
Right, the integrated model.
Yeah, they stress that combination.
Mhm.
Professional coaching for the habits and mindset, the behavioral changes, you need to stick with it long term.
Oh.
But layered with the critical medical expertise that ensures those changes are actually safe for your body based on those objective lab results. It's connecting the how-to with the is it safe for you?
But hang on, doesn't paying for doctors and regular lab work create a pretty high barrier? I mean, lots of people choose cheaper apps or online groups because they want to avoid those costs and the hassle, the commute.
That's a totally fair point.
How does the source justify that higher upfront investment? Is it just about better results or?
That's where they pivot to credibility and their track record. They address that potential skepticism is it's just making a simple diet overly medical and expensive.
Yeah.
And their answer seems to be rooted in their history. Metabolic Medical Centers points to having 29 years in this specific business, providing this kind of supervised care.
Yeah, 29 years is a long time, especially in the diet world, which sees trends come and go constantly. What does that long history really tell us, though?
Well, the implication is twofold, really. Reliability and refinement. They've been around long enough to see countless fads crash and burn. The ones that didn't work, or worse, turned out to be unsafe.
Right. They didn't jump on every bandwagon.
Presumably not. Their longevity suggests they have a methodology that's been tested over time, likely backed by a lot of patient data. They argue you're investing in something proven and refined through decades of practice, not some new app's algorithm that might be gone next year. It's about safety and a track record.
And that idea of a tested, refined method leads right back to what most listeners probably want: keeping the weight off long term. The source asks directly, do you aspire to maintain your weight loss over time?
Yeah.
So this ongoing supervision, the check-ins, the data, the coaching, that must be positioned as the key difference maker for avoiding that common yo-yo effect, right?
Absolutely. Sustainable results are the real goal. And maintaining weight loss requires ongoing attention because your body changes as you lose weight. Your hormones shift, your metabolism adapts.
Oh.
Medical supervision, they argue, helps manage those adaptations safely. It helps prevent that big drop in metabolic rate that comes from losing muscle. And then the coaching helps you lock in the new habits needed to live successfully with your healthier, but maybe slightly different metabolism.
Okay, so let's try to sum up the core arguments here. According to the source material, the case for medical supervision over just grabbing advice online boils down to really two main things.
What stands out to you?
First, avoiding very specific physical dangers, mostly losing that essential muscle and bone, structural stuff.
Right, protecting the body's framework.
And second, using this integrated approach. Serious medical monitoring those labs, the blood pressure checks, combined with professional coaching on the behavior side.
That nails it. And, this whole discussion really makes you think differently about what success even means in weight loss, doesn't it? Well, how often do people focus only on the number on the scale, maybe chasing fast results, and completely miss the potential risk of losing muscle or bone? The source shifts the focus from just the amount of weight lost to the quality of what's being lost.
That is a different perspective, focusing on body composition, not just mass.
Exactly. It reframes it as a health investment, not just a weight number.
And for listeners interested in the specific approach we've been discussing from the source material, they mention learning more at goingmetabolic.com.
Right. And as we wrap up this deep dive, maybe here's a final thought to chew on. If these medically supervised programs insist that regular lab work and blood pressure checks are essential for safety and long-term success, what crucial information about your body's internal workings, its actual physiological state, might you be completely missing if you're only relying on a scale or a simple calorie counting app? What's happening under the hood that only that objective medical data can really show you?
Going metabolic. Going metabolic.